All right, we've gone ahead and started recording. So good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. We're going to go ahead and jump right into today's meeting. So just wanted to start off by highlighting that it is Immigrant Heritage Month. The month is almost over. I didn't even know this, but I was reading somewhere that it was the 10th annual Immigrant Heritage Month. So I kind of wanted to highlight that. I've linked the main website that I found, that's called I Am an Immigrant, and I found the stories to be pretty interesting. They have links to that. So I, just screenshotted one of the stories, which I thought was, which is an interesting read, and I think something that a lot of immigrants can relate to. So I just wanted to highlight that one. So again, put the link right there on the slide. And yeah, so get time to, think about all of the people that have kind of come together. And, I think about like all of the holidays that we have. We have Juneteenth and, Immigrant Heritage Month, and then, coming up 4th of July. And so just thinking about how we are a diverse set of people. And, a lot of us can relate to a lot of these things. They have those common core values. And so, yeah, there's that. Moving on, I wanted to talk about our upcoming meeting. So I know for our last meeting, we had a kind of group discussion about resources. So resources that we had, resources that we needed. Um, and that was a really good discussion that we had at our last in-person meeting. So I wanted to know kind of topics that you all wanted to kind of bring up that would be good to talk about at our next in-person meeting. So if you guys feel free to, drop some ideas in the chat, kind of what you want to talk about, what's helpful. And we always talk about trainings and resources. So is that something that you all would want to talk about again? Um, have a big group discussion, or, divide up into smaller groups and have, more personal discussions about the resources and the trainings that you all think you need, or that you have already gone through and want to share with one another about. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple minutes to drop some ideas in the chat um, about what it is that you guys would want to talk about. And if you guys think another group discussion like that would be helpful. Um, or even if you want to unmute yourself, you can also, share any suggestions that way as well. But I definitely want to get a better idea of, what it is that you all want to talk about at our next meeting. That's a great one, Julia. We are hoping to have MPNF join us. And so, that's definitely one of the topics that, they'll touch on. They are thinking about doing another focus group with you all. And in addition to the focus group, we are hoping that they'll have other information, maybe do a training of some sort related to either like COVID or social media outreach. And so that's definitely something that we are talking with MPNF for them to provide at our next meeting. But they are definitely excited to hopefully host another focus group with you all before our campaign is ready to launch. And so kind of to get an idea of how you all feel about the progress of that, and to get you all's input once again.
Could we also maybe talk about some more clear definition of the outline of the grant, of the expectations and outcomes?
Yes, definitely. I think that is a really good suggestion, since we are kicking off year 2. I think that would be a great idea to kind of give everyone an overview and to kind of break down what it is. All right, let me write these notes down. Yes, so that's definitely something we can do. There is some variation in the work that you all do. When it comes to this community outreach grant, every member submits, their application and kind of what they want to focus on. And, it's kind of up to each of you all to kind of interpret and to execute the work as you all see fit. But definitely there are a lot of activities and things that, are similar. And so we can definitely go over, what those expectations and, what we mean by each aspect of the work that we're trying to accomplish. Mhm. All right, I'll just give another minute or so if anyone else comes up with anything that they want to put in the chat or share. Just give you guys another second to brainstorm. And Olivia, just to make sure, the CHW training, the one through Vanderbilt, is that correct? That training?
Yeah. Or if
Okay.
somebody has found other ones to do.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing that we are hoping to have at our in-person is we are hoping to have Vanderbilt there and rural health. And so we're trying to put together a small panel so that way they can share more about the CHW training. And that would be a really good opportunity for those that have participated to share how that experience has been for them. And, if you all have any additional questions um, for, Vanderbilt or rural health, then that would be a really good opportunity to be able to ask those since you're in the program and, we want you to kind of have the full experience and to make sure, you guys have everything you need. But yeah, definitely would want you all to share your experience um, about how that's going. And then that would really be a good opportunity if anyone else has, participated in anything different, CHW training related. Um, that way, you all can kind of share those resources with one another.
We had a couple of people kind of come in a little bit late. You want to maybe just tell
Oh
them what
yeah.
everyone's thinking about so they don't wonder why we're sitting here silently.
Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, so for anyone that just joined us, we are, you know, sharing topic ideas for our next in-person meeting. So at the last in-person meeting, we had a really good resource discussion about resources that we needed that we already had. And so we're hoping to have another, group discussion. If there are any topics that you guys would want to talk about, whether it's resources, trainings, feel free to drop those in the chat. And then if you guys think of anything afterwards, you can also email me. And then I think we have new people that are joining us at this next meeting. So hopefully this this next in-person meeting will have more people. We are off to a really good start with registration. So, we'll definitely have a lot of people that this is going to be their first time meeting. So there's going to be new faces. So that's going to be exciting as well. Good morning, Eli. All right. Well, if you guys think of anything else, feel free to just email me any other suggestions that you all have. Just as a reminder, if you guys have any questions about reporting is due for community outreach is due on Monday. So again, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask me about that. Moving on to our CHW resources, keeping in theme with immigrants. One of the things that I found was the National Network for Immigrant and Refugee Rights, and they had some really good mental health resources that I thought that were pretty interesting. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Here is thing. All right. Can you guys see my screen? I think you guys can see my screen. All right. And so they have some resources for migrant communities, and then they have them broken down by kind of like group. So they have the Latinx mental health, they have Black immigrant and African American mental health wellness. You scroll a little bit further, and the Asian American Pacific Islander, and then just some general Coalition for Immigrant Health, and then guides for workers and communities, social service, and mental health services, for children, youth. And so I thought that this is pretty interesting. They have some toolkits. So this would be if you're working with, different populations, I thought this would be a really interesting tool to be able to look through, see if there's anything that you could use that can be helpful when working with these groups. And so, yeah, I had never come across this, so I thought this was a pretty good resource to share with you all. Go back. All right, and then the next resource, let's see. Oh, I thought this was pretty cool. It's called Does It Run in Your Family? And let me share my screen one more time. All right. So this one is called Does It Run in Your Family? And it's kind of like a customizable booklet that you can do. And you can download it. And the whole point is that kind of creating that connection between, your family and your health. And I thought this was pretty interesting. They have a video kind of explaining it and why it's important. And so I think this would be a neat activity when working with people and kind of between, the importance of, your family history and how your health kind of is impacted by that. And knowing, your health history and all of those things. So yeah, so this is something else that I found interesting. And then they have an English one and a Spanish version as well. And so this is the website for that. And then my third resource that I had to share with you guys, Tennessee Immigrant and Refugee Rights Coalition, TURC. They're based out of Nashville. So some of you guys have probably already heard of them. They do have a COVID-19 page. And so if you guys need another COVID resource, here's one definitely geared more towards, immigrants and refugees. And they have things in like different languages. So I thought that this one was also a really good resource to have again when working with those populations. And then they do have like a lot of their stuff in Spanish as well. So that is the third one. I think that was the last one. And again, when I send out the slides, you guys will have the links to those as well. All right. And then just, some reminders or next upcoming training will be July 21st. If you guys haven't already registered, please register as soon as you can. We definitely want to get a good count of how many people will be participating. I had accidentally put the registration close date sooner, but I fixed that already. So if you went and tried to register and it didn't let you in, I went ahead and fixed that. So you should be able to continue registering now if you haven't done so already. Registration will close a week before. So I think I put the registration close date for July 14th. So you guys have until the 14th to register. It's through your membership. If you need a hotel room, we sent out the hotel booking link just to make it easier for everyone. Sorry, excuse me. To make it easier for everyone who will be traveling in from out of town. And that way we all stay at the same place since the meeting will be at Staybridge. Thanks, Eli. Looking through the comments. And, in the registration link for those that are interested in meeting for dinner the night before, since if you're traveling from out of town, we will try to put something together for you all as well, since a lot of people did express interest in getting together the night before. So hopefully we'll send out more details as the time approaches. And year 2 community outreach begins July 1st. So we're excited to kick off year 2. We have new members participating in this in the grant for this upcoming year. So we will see an increase in, hopefully CHWs and participation and all of that good stuff. Do you guys have any questions about the upcoming meeting or year 2? All right. Well, as we continue to work to put together the meeting, we'll start sending out, additional information and all of that, so y'all can be on the lookout for that. But yeah, if you guys have any, questions that come up, always feel free to email me. As always, it's nice to talk to you guys, and thank you all for sharing those topic ideas, and hopefully, we'll be ready to have more good discussions at this next meeting. All right, y'all. Well, thank you. Happy Friday. I hope everyone has a good day. Bye, everyone.